Welcome to the Sample Chapter Podcast, the show where authors read a sample chapter from one of their books. Here's your host, Jason A. Meiske.
Hello, Sample Chapter listeners, and welcome to episode 280 of the show. In today's episode, we will be having part 2 of our feature with writer, musician, and artist Stephen Cline. This week, you're in for a delightful reading from Stephen's latest genre-bending suspenseful thriller, The Last Book. That is coming up here in just a few minutes, but first, I will finally give you my personal updates after my trip to Alaska. Oh my gosh, what an amazing trip that was. It was a 7-day cruise along the Inside Passage. It was an amazing trip. We saw whales. First day even we saw orca swimming and jumping around. Sea otters, a bear. We went gold panning. We had a train ride that was really amazing. Tried fry bread, which was so good, and had a wonderful balcony view from our room, and it just, ah, man, this was just such an incredible trip. I think that honestly the best part of the whole thing was that just being back in Alaska with my wife. See, I was stationed there back in the early '90s when I was in the Air Force. It was my first base, and that is where we first became engaged. Being back in Alaska, the place where that happened, it was just a truly magical time for us to be back in a place that has meant so much to us in our lives. And we made a lot of memories, back in the day and then again during this trip. And it is something that my wife and I are both committed that we're going to go back again one day. It was really nice to be able to take our kids. And something that was equally as amazing was that our daughter became engaged on this cruise. So how do you like that? I mean, here we are 32, 33 years after we became engaged. Our daughter became engaged in Alaska. So it was very special and something that we are going to cherish for the rest of our lives. I did do a little bit of writing while we were there. Did a good bit, about a chapter in Seattle, and then off and on I did some throughout. So that was nice. My wife took a picture and of me doing some work on vacation, which she thought was funny. But it was difficult to look at those landscapes, especially when the story I'm writing right now takes place in Alaska. So the timing was just perfect. I had to take advantage of it, from time to time. But I have this short little story I got to tell you though. So there is a library on the boat, and I brought along a few books and some bookmarks. And I made sure that throughout the airports and bookstores that I came across, I was dropping off bookmarks and doing such. And then for the library on the boat, I took my books and put them in there, and it was a library of between 500 to 1,000 books, and it was really cool. And dropped them off. I had 9 Mile Bridge and the first Bandit book, and that was really cool. I just thought, well, hopefully somebody will enjoy it. So, flash forward to day 5. We had just finished an event. This was one of our sea days, so we're just out cruising. And we just finished this thing that we were doing and get in the elevators to go prepare for dinner. And as we go up one floor, and then another couple gets on, and when they get on, my eyes bugged out of my head. It was all I could do not to just jump for joy and scream aloud because in her hands was 9 Mile Bridge. I was looking over at my wife, like my just trying so hard to gently get her attention, and my wife, to her benefit, she did see it too and took a little snapshot. So I've got pictures from the trip, and that's one of them I'll make sure to share here real soon. That was incredible that with like 5,000 people on the boat, that I would happen to be on the elevator at the same moment that somebody had picked up one of my books. So that was a pretty cool experience as well. Anyway, such a great trip. Uh, really happy to be home. I was ready to come home, ready to get back to a normal routine again, because I don't think I could eat another bite. If you've never been on a cruise, or if you have been on a cruise, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. How much food they stuff down you during those cruises. But yeah, I was ready to get back to some normalcy, but can't wait to go back and do it all over again. All right. Well, anyway, that is my update. Now that I'm back home again, I am doing some regular writing and, of course, preparing some great episodes for you coming up, including today, episode 280 with Stephen Cline. And without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on over to that reading with Stephen Cline from The Last Book.
The Last Book by Stephen Cline. Sample. I edged away a bit as she reached into her backpack and retrieved the book. I caught my breath when I saw it. I wanted to take it out of her hands, but folded mine tightly in my lap and watched as she placed it on hers. We both looked curiously at the cover. Nothing, nor on the spine. "Curiouser and curiouser," she quoted. She slowly opened the cover and the pages appeared blank. Then they started moving. That is, not physically moving, but the surface seemed to flow. Her words caused me to associate with the Cheshire Cat coming out of transparency, only this was like 100 images cycling rapidly into semi-visibility, now paragraphs, now pictures, now a blur. She snapped the book closed. "We need to focus, I think. Maybe it can't read us. I mean, there's 2 readers now, and, well, maybe that little spark we just felt is causing an ambivalence of purpose or something." Just then there was a sharp knock on my front door. I looked at Celeste, and she suddenly wore a mask of genuine fear. She bolted for the back rooms while I went slowly toward the door, feeling strangely anxious. I opened the door about a foot and saw 2 youngish men standing there, the 2 I had seen accosting Mr. Lathke. One of them was certainly Ray. "Yes?" "Hello, sir. We're looking for Celeste Lathke and thought you might know where we might find her." "Why would you think such a thing?" "I'm afraid we can't talk about that. Is she here?" "No, she isn't." "We heard voices." "Have you ever heard of virtual reality equipment?" "We practically invented it." "Well then, you know that one can speak to other people with it. We happen to know that you know her." "You know no such thing. You tried to hack into her computer system. Surely you know enough logic to see that that does not make her an acquaintance. She has written academic work in my field, work I find intellectually suspect, mixing literary criticism with sociology. A dubious combination, I'm sure you would agree. I was trying to find out more about her work and qualifications. How is it that you know I went looking? Are you the computer police? Have you ever heard of the literary character Big Brother? We build, run, and maintain the system. We need to watch activity that may threaten it. You're like God then." "God is dead. No one reads Nietzsche anymore. We'd like to come in," and he pushed on the door. My foot was behind it, and it sprang back and hit him in the forehead. He glared at me with a malevolence that he seemed to have difficulty controlling. "You'll regret that, Professor." "I don't know you. I don't know Celeste Lathke. You're obviously following a blind alley in your search." I shut the door firmly, but realized my hands were shaking. I turned the deadbolt and walked into the rear of the house. I found Celeste not cowering, but frantically turning off and disconnecting my computer network. "What are you doing?" "He's not done with you." "What do you mean? Surely he can see they're on the wrong trail." She kept working, saying, A, they're not on the wrong trail, even if they don't know it yet. B, Ray is a vindictive SOB, and he will try to punish you just for standing up to him. He's going to surge your system, and it will be very soon. Surge my system? From his mobile unit, he has the capability of doing all kinds of mischief and damage, including directing a power surge through your network and frying the whole thing. Hang on. I watched her check her work and then pick up my mobile that was sitting on the desk and switch it off. "We'll have to go dark for a while," which actually works in our favor. He'll think he's paid you back and then forget about you for a while. It should give us some time. To do what? You saw what the book did. We were conflicted then. I think Ray has just provided us with some focus. Come on. We went back to the couch, me by way of the window where I saw the geek's car turning a corner down the block. I joined her where she was standing by the couch. Intellectually suspect. Improvising, She laughed, which broke some of the tension. We sat again in unison, careful not to touch, and she once again opened the book. It flashed again, but quickly resolved into a title page. Celeste began reading. The Blade of Sacrifice by Ari del Canto.
There you are, listeners. That was Stephen Cline reading a fantastic sample from his latest book, The Last Book. It is available right now. You can click the link in the show notes for this book and for Stephen's website and all of his social media. Make sure to follow him on all platforms and check out everything he has to offer. Don't forget to also hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform so that you don't miss out next week when I'm back with a new author, a new book, and an all-new sample chapter. Take care, everybody. See you soon.